Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Bhutairmahadbhirjayma Puro Vibhu Nirmaya Shete Yadamushu Purusha Bhunte Gunan Shodasha Shodashatmaka Solan Krisishta Bhagavan Vachamsi Me Shri Krishna Sharanam Sharanagatam Katha Amritam Satatapivatam Bhakti Vedanta Marga Panthanam Sarvaloka Rishideva Janna Prasannam Sarvaloka Rishideva Janna Prasannam. Hare Krishna, dear Prabhus and Matajis. Welcome to our morning Srimad Bhagavatam study session. So today we are doing Srimad Bhagavatam second canto, the cosmic manifestation, and the first chapter, the first step in God realization, and text number 33. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nadyosya Nadyo Tatano Ruhani Mahi Ruha Vishvatano Nipendriya Anantavirya Svasitam Martarishva Gatirvaya Karma Guna Pravaha. Word to word, Nadyaha, the rivers, Asya, of him, Nadyaha, veins, Atha, and thereafter, Tanu Ruhani, hairs on the body, Mahi Ruhaha, the plants and trees, Vishvatanoho, of the universal form, Nripendriya, O king, Anantavirya, of the omnipotent, Svasitam, breathing, Martarishva, air, Gatihi, movement, Vayaha, passing ages, Karma, activity, Guna Pravaha, reactions of the modes of nature. Translation by His Loving Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O King, the rivers are the veins of the gigantic body, the trees are the hairs of his body, and the omnipotent air is his breath. The passing ages are his movements, and his activities are the reactions of the three modes of material nature. So we see here the continuation of the description of the Virata form, the universal form of the Supreme Lord. Srila Prabhupada says in the paper, let's hear. The personality of Godhead is not a dead stone, nor is he inactive, as is poorly taught by some schools. He moves with the progress of time, and therefore he knows all about the past and future, along with his present activities. There is nothing unknown to him. There is a verse in Srimad Bhāgavatam which says, Vidittam anantam samastam. Vidittam means that he knows everything. Anantam means that unlimitedly he is the knower of everything. Samastam means everything. So there is nothing that is unknown to the Lord. The conditioned souls are driven by the reactions of the modes of material nature, which are the activities of the Lord. So in Bhagavad Gita, we see that Krishna there mentions Prakriti Kriyamanani Guna Karmani Sarvashaha Ahankaram Iti Mani Kartaham Iti Manye, that the three modes of nature, everything is being carried out, all the activities are being carried out. But the Vimuda Atma, the foolish person, thinks that he is the doer, Kartaham iti manyate, and therefore he becomes implicated. So as stated in Bhagavad Gita 7:12, the modes of nature act under his direction only, and as such, No natural functions are blind or automatic. The power behind the activities is the supervision of the Lord, and thus the Lord is never inactive as is wrongly conceived. The Vedas said that the Supreme Lord has nothing to do personally, as is always the case with superiors, but everything is done by his direction. As it is said, not a blade of grass moves without his sanction. So, just discussing on this point, even in the material world, we see that when there is a leader in a society, or let's say prime minister, when he simply says something and it automatically happens, it is carried out by the subordinates. So, similarly, the Supreme Lord has nothing to do. Scriptures say, Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. That Natasya karyam, there is no karyam karanam cha vidyate that he needs to do. Because he is omnipotent, and here the word here in this verse is mentioned as he is anantavirya. He is the omnipotent. That means he has the ability and the power to do everything and anything. So nothing remains for him to be doing. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. And nacha samascha vidikascha drishyate. And there is no one equal to him or no one superior to him. Parasa shaktir vividhaiva shruyate. He has got many, many varieties of superior energies, Shakti. And Swabhaviki, it is his innate nature that he has jnana, full knowledge, bala, full strength, and kriya, and the ability to do the activity. And because he can do everything, he actually does not need to do. So everything is carried out by his different varieties, parasa shaktair vividhaiva shruyate, different varieties of shaktis or energies. Everything is carried out. Just like an elderly person in a family may just say, this needs to be done, and the younger ones will carry the order out. As it is said, not a blade of grass moves without his sanction. In Brahma Samhita 548, it is said that all the universes and the heads of them, the Brahmas, exist only for the duration of the breathing period. This same is confirmed here. The air on which the universes and the planets within the universes exist is nothing but a bit of breath of the unchallengeable Virat Purusha. So we know that the lifespan of Brahma by earthly calculations is 311 trillion, 40 billion years. But in comparison to Lord Mahavishnu, or here it is mentioned the Virat Purusha's outward breathing, that outward breathing is 311 trillion, 40 billion years, just one breath. So we can just imagine, when we scan the span of our life, which is nothing in comparison to the life of Brahma, which is 311 trillion, 40 billion years. And then the span of Brahma's lifespan is nothing in comparison to even one breath of Vishnu. So Kulshekar Arvar very nicely, he mentions in Mukundamala Stotra, Prithvi Renu Anu Prayam Sikhanika Sphalgos Pulingo Lagos Tejahane Swasanam Maruttanutaram Randhram Susukshma Nabha Shudra Rudra Pitamaha Prabhitaya Kita Samasta Sura Drashte Yatra Satarako Vijayate Shripad Dhuli Kanaham. So he says, Prithvi, Renur, Anuhu, Prayamsi, Kanika, that the whole earth, Prithvi, it appears like an insignificant dust or atom, Anuhu, Prayamsi Kanika, Spillingo Lagus, Tejaha, the wide variety of wind, great variety of wind blowing. In this verse it is said the wind is blowing. It appears just a faint sign of just air. And the gigantic sun, it appears like a small spark of fire. And in this way, everything that we think is significant appears as very insignificant. And then the names of the demigods are mentioned. And he says, Shudra Rudra Pitamaha Prabhutaya. So, Shudra means insignificant. Rudra. Lord Shiva even appears insignificant in front of Lord Vishnu. Shudra, Rudra, Pitamaha. Pitamaha means is referring here to Lord Brahma. So even Lord Brahma is insignificant. Shudra, Rudra, and Kitaha Samastaha Sura, and even all the small demigods, so-called great demigods, but in front of Lord Vishnu, they appear to be Kitaha, like tiny insects, insignificant. Drashte yatra satarako vijayate Shripad Kanaha. So until and unless the the one speck of dust of the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu is seen, all these personalities, they appear to be significant. But as soon as one dust of the lotus feet, or the speck of dust of the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu is seen, all these, they become insignificant. The gigantic sky, the sun, the great blowing wind, the oceans, the fire, and the demigods such as Rudra, Lord Brahma, and all the demigods combined, only one speck of dust of the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu defeats everything. So here, the important point to note is that not only the Lord Vishnu's lotus feet defeats everything, this the speck of dust on Lord Vishnu's lotus feet is enough to defeat everything, including all the demigods who appear to be huge and gigantic. So in front of Virat Purusha, everything becomes insignificant. So Prabhupada here continues. So even by studying the rivers, trees, air, and passing ages, one can conceive of the personality of Godhead without being misled by the formless conception of the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita 12.5, it is stated that those who are much inclined to the formless conception of the Supreme Truth are more troubled than those who can intelligently conceive of the personal form. So in Bhagavad Gita, we see at the start of 12th chapter, Arjuna asking this question, Tesham satata yuktaye bhaktas tvam parupasate, that who is superior, O Krishna, amongst the two kinds of devotees who approach you? Bhaktas tvam upasate, ye chap aksharam avyaktam, that those who worship your impersonal form, avyakta. Avyakta means there is no vyakti. It is just aksharam avyaktam. Or tesham te yoga vittamaha, or those who worship you in devotional service, are they considered to be more perfect? So then Krishna answers without mincing any words. He says in the second verse that those who fix their minds on my personal form, maya vesha manoyema, and in this way, nitya yukta upasate, they always worship me with love and devotion. Shraddhayaha paryopetas, with faith, they are always considered by me to be te me yukta tamamataha, more perfect. So Krishna himself says that those who worship my personal form, they are actually more perfect. And then in this particular verse that Srila Prabhupada quotes in the purport, Krishna mentions that klesho dhikataras tesham avyakta sakta chetasam, that those who are much inclined to meditate on the impersonal or void, saying that the Lord has no form, then they go through unimaginable miseries. Klesho. Their life is full of klesha. Klesha means misery. Adhika. Adhika means extra misery. Avyakta sakta chetasam, because their consciousness, chetana, is more inclined towards avyakta, the impersonal form of the Lord. And avyakta hi gater dukkham. And because they are more inclined towards the impersonal feature of the Lord, avyakta hi gater dukkham, they attain and undergo through various dukkham, miseries. Why? Because we are embodied. Deha vadbhir avapyate. And we are trying to imagine and do something which is not embodied, which is impersonal. But the Lord is a person. Arjuna further in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, I think it's text number 12, therein, in one verse, Arjuna mentions the 10 qualities of Krishna. And he says, Param Brahma, Krishna is transcendental. Param Dhama, his abode is the supreme. Pavitram, he is most pure. Paramam Bhavan, and he is transcendental Lord. Purusham, and he is a person. And this is the point Prabhupada is saying, that the Lord is not impersonal. Purusham, Purusham means he is a person. Shashvatam, but he is a transcendental person. He's a person of not this world. Divyam, he is divine. So, Srila Prabhupada, when we see and read Bhaktivedanta purports, every time he gets the opportunity, he tries to make this point that the Lord is personal, and the Mayavadis or the impersonalists, they are committing great offense by regarding the Lord as not a person. And we know that Srila Prabhupada, in making an offering in Vyas Puja to his spiritual master, he wrote couplets. And in those couplets, he wrote that absolute is sentient, thou have moved. Impersonalist, calamity, thou have proved. So what does it mean? Absolute, the supreme absolute truth, the supreme absolute personality of Godhead is sentient. Sentient means that the Lord has feelings. Yes, the Lord wants his living entities, the children, to love him. He has feelings. In Srimad Bhagavatam, in the pastime of Lord Varahadev, we see that when Hiranyaksha was about to do a comeback with Lord, then before that, Hiranyaksha spoke harsh words. And Bhagavatam mentions that those harsh words pierced the heart of Lord Varhadev, and he felt hurt. Yes, Krishna does feel hurt when we, who are his children, don't approach him. Although he remains neutral, although he is always in blissful nature, but still he desires that all living entities come back to him. So absolute is sentient. Sentient. He has feelings. So in the morning, when we are, eating breakfast, before eating breakfast, have we actually offered to the Lord? He also needs to eat. Once in Vrindavan, when Srila Prabhupada was there, one impersonalist came, Mayavadi came, and he saw that offering of foodstuff is been made to Krishna Balram. And there he commented sarcastically, who are you offering to? All the food is just there, sitting just like that. He is not eating. You are just wasting your time. So Srila Prabhupada directly spoke to him. He said, Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati. That my devotee offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, fruit, and water. Yo me bhaktya prayachati. Prayachati means he endeavors. He endeavors to offer me a fruit, a leaf, flower, and water. And tad aham bhakti paritam. And after that loving exchange of that devotee, ashnami prayatatmana. Krishna says ashnami. Ashnami means I eat. I accept that. I eat that. Ashnami prayatatmana. So Srila Prabhupada said to that Mayavadi, that impersonalist, that on one hand you are saying that Krishna doesn't eat, and on the other hand, Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita that I eat whatever is offered by my devotee. So who should I believe? Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is full of knowledge, who spoke Bhagavad Gita, or a rascal like you? So in this way, Srila Prabhupada would cut and defeat the Mayavadis, the impersonalists. And so when we look at the purport, Srila Prabhupada goes on to say that the personality, one can conceive of the personality of Godhead without being misled by the formless conception of the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita 12.5, it is stated that those who are much inclined to the formless conception of the Supreme Truth are more troubled than those who can intelligently conceive the personal form of the Lord. And Srila Prabhupada used to say, yes, the form of the Lord is personal. And here, as the first step in God realization, the universal form of the Lord is given for us to meditate on. Why? Because every day, when we wake up, we can see eventually, yes, the sun has come out. So our eyes can see the sun. Every day we take a glass of water in the morning and drink the water. Every day we see nice plants, nice trees, nice vegetation. So all of this is inside Krishna. Everything is within him, and yet he is without and is not affected by anything. So just by observing everything around us, we can remember Krishna. When we go for sightseeing and we see nice rivers flowing, we can meditate, yes, these are the veins of the universal form of the Lord. When we see the sun, the heat that it emanates, yes, the splendor of the sun and the heat is coming from Krishna. Krishna is fully potent and he is able to do everything and anything in this regard. Are there any questions, Prabhus and Matajis? Oh, sorry. Someone mentioned I cannot be heard.
No, we can hear you, Prabhu.
Oh, okay, okay.
Can I share something, Prabhu?
Please, Prabhuji.
It's interesting how even everything else, the biggest thing is insignificant in front of the Lord. Even the someone like Brahma, Rudra. I mean, not in that way as devotees, but everything else material, even though when it's so big, it's insignificant in front of the Lord. But a little bit of devotion becomes so significant for the Lord, as we see in the story of that little rat who was after the curtains were closed, um, and the rat was trying to run away, and by his whisker that he lit the lamp a little bit, and Krishna appreciates that, yes, my devotee, this rat, has lit a lamp for me. So a little bit of devotion is magnified. So I heard in the beginning that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has got a magnifying glass. So when he sees the devotion, he magnifies the devotion. But then when he sees the fault, he reverses that magnifying glass and doesn't see our fault at all. So that's why Nityananda Prabhu is called Adosha Darshi, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of course, is called Mahabhadanyaya. So we can understand that, yes, even though everything else, material, is insignificant in front of the Lord, but a little bit of devotion is very much significant in front of the Lord. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for completing the class, by glorifying the devotional service of the Lord. Yes, the Lord attracts, everyone, but the bhakti, even a little bit of bhakti, a devotee has in their hearts, it attracts the Lord, and the Lord, becomes indebted to that devotee who does even an insignificant service. And this is the glory of this bhakti marg, this devotional service. That when we become sold out to Krishna, then the Almighty, the omnipotent, the in Ananta Virya, one who is unlimitedly powerful, one who is adhokshaja, beyond the experience of our blunt material senses, one who is vibhuti, just too great for our puny intelligence to comprehend. But it takes little devotion for him to make himself accessible to the devotees. And that is the glory of devotional service. And that's how the Lord's heart is. The Lord's heart, it is said, is like a solid form of butter. And when the devotee endeavors to please the Lord with love and devotion, that butter melts and a flood is created, and the Lord's might and drowns in that flood. And the only thing that remains is the Lord's mercy, and the Lord cannot help but make himself subordinate to his devotees. Any other questions or comments? Thank you so much. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Have a wonderful Krishna conscious day, and we'll see you all again tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Thank
Prabhu.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the class.